Hey guys, Forex here, hope you're all well. What you're looking at in front of you is two 40 Mega Drives. Two. We've got a two for going on, two for the price of one. Now these were both sold as faulty, not working. What I'm hoping in this video is to see if I can get both of them working. If I can't get both of them working, what I'm hoping then is to get one decent one out of two. And maybe what I'll have to do is, sacrifice some parts to get another one of them working. So yeah, if you stick around, I'll see if I can get both or one of these working. If we take a look at these Mega Drives, we can see they're in a really poor state. They've not been stored away very well, and they have that fusty, lofty type smell. Now, if I can get one of them working or both of them working, then yeah, what I'm going to do is what I normally do is strip them down and give them a really good clean. But just to start off, this one here has a fault that I can show you straight away. If I move the on-off switch, you can see I can just move it with my finger. So what's probably happened, I'm just speculating here, I don't know yet, is the actual switch inside is fine, but this part here has blown out. So yeah, that's a fault there straight away. The other one, this one here, externally looks perfectly fine. So what I might do is just start off on this one first. I have the Mega Drive out in front of me. The first thing I want to talk about is the revision of this Mega Drive. This is a later revision Mega Drive. In fact, both of them are later revision Mega Drives. I can tell that because the first thing is we're missing the high definition graphic stereo sound logo that you would see on early revision Mega Drives. It's written in white text just up here if it was a early Mega Drive, so that indicates this is a later revision. Now this is either going to be a VA5 or a VA6 board, and the way you tell the difference between a VA5 and a VA6 is if you look at the back. If you have a serial port here, your likelihood of having a VA5 motherboard, but because I'm missing the serial port, this motherboard in this Mega Drive is possibly going to be a VA6. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up power, I'm going to hook up my SCART lead, I'm going to pop a game in this thing and see what we get. Let's test this Mega Drive. I have my power plugged in, I've got my SCART plugged in, TV's on, ready to go. Let's plug in a game and power on and see what we get. And we're getting a black screen. Just power off. And then the cartridge slot a few times. Let's power on, see what we get. And we're still getting a black screen. Now that necessarily doesn't mean a bad thing. And let me tell you why. If I power off, take the cartridge out and show you what I mean. If you watch my TV, it should come up, there you go, no signal. Now there's a massive difference between a no signal like this and a black screen. The reason for that is when you get a black screen, there are certain things happening in the Mega Drive. What that tells me is the video encoder is working, because even though it's outputting a black screen, there's got to be a sync signal there for the TV to recognize, otherwise you're just going to keep getting this no signal. So the video encoder chip's working. What that also tells me is obviously there's power, because you need power to power the video encoder chip. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that power is going to every single chip, but there is power going to the video encoder chip, so that's a good thing. And the third thing is there is a clock, because to generate a signal you need to generate color burst information. So there's a clock signal that's being generated in this Mega Drive. So yeah, there is a massive difference between a screen like this and no signal and a black screen. Now, the first thing I want to do is give the cartridge slot a good clean, because that's a common fault for a black screen, is a dirty cartridge slot. And see, now this has been stored away incorrectly, and that's the first thing I want to do, is get that cartridge slot a good clean. What I've decided to do is I'm just going to whip the lid off this Mega Drive, just so I can show you me cleaning the slot a lot better. It's difficult to film and clean the cartridge slot while, you know, you've got these flaps there, so if the lid's off you'll see it a lot better. So yeah, I'm just going to whip the lid off and then I'll clean the cartridge slot. It's super easy to get into the Mega Drive. You just need to remove 6 screws. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one just here, there's one here, and the final one is here. Remove those and you'll be able to pull the top lid off. That's the screws removed from the underside. What I need to do now is remove the top case, and that's super easy. You just grab it like this, you pull up, and there's something you need to be really careful of. What you need to do is pull the Mega Drive lid towards you like this and lean it. The reason for that is because there is a connection from the motherboard to the LED, the power indicator LED, that is permanently connected. The way you remove this is you bend the legs like this on the LED, you bend them out, and then you can pull this off. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll take a look at this Mega Drive in more depth. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't have high hopes for this Mega Drive. I'll show you why. If I run my finger down the top shield, that's rust. There you can see it. It's starting to rust. Yeah, whoever stored this away stored it in a damp environment. This is what you get. What a moron. Also, what doesn't bode well as well is if we look at the cartridge slot, if we look at the screws either side the cartridge slot, they've started to rust as well. So I don't have high hopes for this Mega Drive. I'll clean the slot and see what we get anyway, so yeah, I'll just crack on with that. Okay, to clean the slot, I've already shown you this in my Famicom video, but I might as well go over it again. I have my Screwfix card, or you can use it like a credit card, or an old credit card or something. Just put some paper around it and then soak it in isopropyl alcohol. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come along and I'm just going to go in and out, in and out, in and out the cartridge slot for a couple of minutes. So I'll do this and then finish off and then come back and give it a test. That's the cartridge slot clean. You can see the crap that came out of it. It just looked like rust. So yeah, that cartridge slot's in bad shape. I don't know why hopes, but let's give it a try. Let's power on, see what we get. Oh, f off. F off. Oh no. Oh, it's made me look a fool. Oh, you thing. Oh, guys, I'll be brutally honest with you. I thought when I saw that slot, I thought this thing was toast. You've got to be, look at it, look at the state of the slot. How is that possible? How is that possible? Look at the state of the slot. How is that possible? How is that possible? Oh well. Well, there you go then, that's one of them fixed. Unbelievable. I just took a look at the slot again, and to be fair, the slot looks perfectly fine. If we look at the slot, now it's been cleaned, it's actually in pretty good condition. It's only the screws at the side that have rusted. There was a little bit of rust. You can see it there on the paper that I used to clean the slot, so it was probably just on the turn, but got to it just in time, and giving it a clean just fired the system back into life. So yeah, there you go. Store your away properly and you don't get these problems. Made me look. What I've decided to do is, because there was a little bit of rust that's come out of this cartridge slot, I'm going to do exactly the same as I did with the isopropyl alcohol, but this time I'm going to use a bit of WD-40 and just spray it onto the bottom of the paper here, and I'm going to go in and out, in and out, in and out, and what that will do is it will just put a protective layer on the cartridge pins so they don't corrode any further. I've got a little bit of WD-40 on the card and the paper. Just go in and out a few times, and that should protect those pins on the cartridge slot. Now we've got the first Mega Drive up and working. Let's see if we can get the second one working. Now straight off the bat, this is a VA6 as well. We can see that because we're missing the extension serial port, and we don't have the high definition graphics stereo sound. Now I'm gonna have to take the lid off this before I can even test it, because obviously the actual switch is blown out. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, and then we can give it a test. I'm in the Mega Drive. There are some dust bunnies in this one. There's one there. You can see one in the cartridge slot. There's one just down here. So yeah, this one really does need a clean also. Now the top shield is just turning a little bit here, but apart from that, it's not in bad condition. You know, a quick touch up and it should be fine. However, the big problem I am having is if you look down at the switch, it's the actual switch that's broken. Now, I was thinking it might be the top part, the actual slide bit that moves the switch, but no, that's actually broken, and it looks like it's took a whack. You can see it. Look, you can see how this bit's misshapen, and if we look at the switch, it's actually snapped. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to turn this one on, to be honest. I'm going to have to think about it for a second. I think I know what happened with this Mega Drive and how that switch got broke. When you're putting the lid back on the Mega Drive, it's very easy to get things misaligned. What you have to do is you have to push this to the very top, and on the top case you have to push the slider to the very top as well. Now the same with the power switch. If you don't get the power switch in the right position, you can actually put the lid on and they'll be misaligned. Now probably what someone did was they did that, they put the lid on and this was misaligned, and when they tried to power the system on, it was really stiff and they pushed it a bit too far, and what they've done is they snapped the top of the post off the power switch. So yeah, now I've had a look at it. Now I can actually turn it on if I get my pick tool and I put it in there like that. I can actually switch it on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a game in. I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch it on and see what we get. So that's on now. And this one's the same. It's given a black screen. So yeah, let's do the focus. There you go. Let's clean that cartridge slot. Let's see what we get. Let's power it off first, so I don't forget. Okay, let's clean the cartridge slot. Got my card and paper all soaked in IPA. Let's give this cartridge slot a good clean. I've just spent the last couple of minutes cleaning the slot. You can see the crap that's come out of it. Let's give it a test now. See what we get. Let's plug in the game. Let's power on with my pick. Oh, what do you know? What do you know? Winner, winner, dirty slot. So yeah, there's another one. Look, dirty slot. Unbelievable. Jesus. Seriously. If you're gonna put these on eBay as faulty, clean the slot first, you never know. It might fire back into life. There's 2 Mega Drives now with dirty slots. Unbelievable. Yeah. Am I surprised? No, you saw the state of the Mega Drives, how dirty they were, wouldn't it, you know? Yeah. Lost for words, guys, seriously. No. Yeah, let's get some WD-40 into the slot, just protect those pins, and then I'll get on to fixing that switch. Unbelievable. Got some WD-40 on a piece of paper on the card. Let's just go in out and out slot. And what that will do is it will put a light coat of WD-40 onto those pins and just protect them and stop them from corroding further. Let's get the shield off so I can replace this broken switch. Now to do that I need to remove some screws. There's one here, there's one here, there's one just here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one just here, and the final one is here. Remove those and this top shield will pull straight off. That's the top shield off, and I can confirm this is a VA6. As you can see, it's missing the extension serial port. Now what I need to do is get this motherboard out so I can replace the switch. You can see the switch more clearly now. The top post that sticks out is snapped off. Now to remove the motherboard, there's a number of screws I need to take out, and firstly I can tell someone's been in this already, because under the headphone socket there's normally a screw just here, and that's missing. So yours, you'll need to remove the screw here. There are 2 either side in the cartridge slot, one here and one here, and there's 3 more on this heatsink, here, here and here. Remove those and the motherboard should just pull straight out. That's the board out, the Mega Drive. Now what I found when I was removing the case, if you take a look at the bottom corner of the case, you can actually see the post off the switch. It's just here. Let's see if I can grab it. There you go. Now I could try and glue this back on, but the truth is it won't last very long, so yeah, it's just easier just to replace the switch. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to suck off the old switch and replace it with a new one. So okay, let's suck out that old switch. I'm going to use my desolder gun. Let's do this. Hopefully we should just be able to pull out that old switch, and there you go, came straight out. Winner winner, chicken dinner. What you can see is the old switch I just took out and the new one, well, old, new one I'm going to put in there. This came out of a 40 Mega Drive some years ago. I think one of the custom chips had failed on it, so what I just did was just salvaged all the parts off the Mega Drive, and yeah, I've got a switch I can put in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this switch in, and hopefully that will bring the Mega Drive back to 100% again. That's the new old switch, soldered in. Give you look what it looks like on the front. Hopefully that should fix the problem. Let's get power and video and a game in this thing so I can test that switch and see if it works. Let's see if our switch works. I've got a game in a slot, I've got video, I've got power. So let's power on. And we're working. So yeah, this Mega Drive is now 100%. What I'm going to do now is strip it down, the rest of it down. I'll strip the other one down and get these in soak and give them a really good clean. Now I've seen how both these Mega Drives are the same revision. There's no real need for me showing how to strip both the Mega Drives down. They're both the same, so yeah, I'll just strip one down and then show you how to do it. Now, the one thing I don't like about these later revision Mega Drives is SEGA really cheaped out on them. I'll show you what I mean. On the early revision Mega Drives, pretty much everything you could unscrew and take apart. But if we take a look at these later revision Mega Drives, all SEGA did was just heat stake them, so you can't really get any of the parts off. The only parts you can really take off are the actual cartridge slot housing and the reset button. So yeah, reset button's easy. You just grab it like this and then push it through, and that will come straight out. And then to remove the cartridge housing, there's just 3 screws. There's one here, and one there. You take them out, and that's pretty much the top case stripped down. That's the top case stripped down. You know, you can barely take parts off it because SEGA pretty much cheaped out on manufacturing these cases in the later revision. You know, instead of spending a couple of pence on screws, screw that, will just heat stake everything. So yeah, they're the only components you can take out on the upper case. To remove the cartridge slot flaps is actually pretty easy. I can actually do it one-handed. If you turn it to the side like this and you push one of them down, what you need to do is get underneath it, and you can see it slots in there, and all you do is just pick it up like that, and the other one will slide out, and that's that. That's one of the slots, cartridge slot flaps out, and then you just grab the spring like that and pull it off. So that's one done. Do the same for the other one, show you that. Again, you just lift it up a bit, it will pull it out, and then it just comes straight out. Again, just remove the spring, and yeah, there you go. I get them in soak now, give them a good clean. To remove the bottom shield is actually very easy, but the first thing you need to do is remove this metal part here. Yeah, I've forgotten many times to put this metal part back when I've stripped down a Mega Drive, and I'm going to do it all over again. So yeah, just remove that. Then you just grab the shield and it will just lift straight out, and that's the bottom case all stripped, ready for soaking. So what I'm going to do now is exactly the same with the first Mega Drive, and then I can get these upper and lower cases in soak and give them a really good clean. And just to let you know, I can confirm the first Mega Drive is indeed a VA6. That's both Mega Drives stripped down, both upper and lower cases. Let's get these in soak and give them a really good clean. As you can see, I have both the upper and lower cases for both Mega Drives soaking in the bath, and just there I've got the cartridge slot flaps and the reset buttons and everything like that. So what I'll do is I'll let this sit in here for half an hour, then I'll come back and give it a really good scrub, and hopefully those cases should look a hell of a lot better. Now, because both of these metal shields have got rust spots on them, and you know, this one's pretty rusty, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Dremel tool with the brass wheel, and I'm just going to go along and get rid of some of that rust, that surface rust, because that's all it is, it's only surface rust. So yeah, I'll spend like half an hour doing that, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like once I've done. Thought I'd show you me cleaning up a little bit on my Dremel, and I'm just coming along and doing this, getting rid of all the rust. Yeah, and that's all I'm doing, just coming along, getting rid of all the surface rust. And I've finished. This one took about half an hour to do. This one was a little bit less, about a quarter of an hour. Yeah, but I think I need a new brass wheel. Yeah, that's all the surface rust off these two metal shields. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to soak this rag in some WD-40 and then give them a wipe down, and that should protect them even further. So yeah, I'll just crack on and do that and then show you what they look like afterwards. That's both the shields cleaned, rust removed, and put a protective coat of WD-40 on them. Now you may be asking, will these shields rust again? If they're left in a damp environment, of course they will. You know, you can pretty much say that for any system. You know, if you don't store it away properly and it's got a protective shield in it, it's going to rust. So yeah, if you're going to store your systems away, store them in a nice dry place, and then you won't have to go through this. But yeah, that's those shields all taken care of now. We're all fixed, we're all cleaned. Let's get these Mega Drives back together again. We're all bolted back together. We take a look at the cases. The one on the right case is a little bit banged up, but yeah, I can live with that. The one on the left, the case is pretty nice actually. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is hook up these individually, give them a test, and then I can wrap up the video. I've got the first one in front of me, got a game in a slot, power, SCART, audio, let's power on, let's see what we get, and we're getting a boot. And there we go, bit of Sonic 2. So yeah, there you go. Looks like this one's working perfectly fine. And I've got the other Mega Drive all hooked up. Got power, SCART, audio, game, that's power on. And this one's working fine as well. So yeah, there you go. 2 for 2. Winner. There you go, 2 for 2. Just power on. Winner, winner. So yeah, there you go guys, I got both of them working. I was hoping I could at least minimum get one working, but to get both of them working, that's a bonus. So yeah, hope you liked the video guys. Please give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Sweet. 2 for 2, baby.